be ridiculous. Now with 30% more punctuation. Are you ready to play this thing? I know what non-canon means, so let's go. Name is... Confirm. Name is Dactylotheus. Continue. Alright, let's go. It's Friday night in the big city. You could use a laugh after the week you've had. The Laugh Attic is one of the most tragically unfunny comedy clubs in town, but you love watching people bomb up and like. Sometimes that people is you. It's particularly dark tonight, so dark it'll make for quite the dramatic reveal when your eyes adjust and you see who is sitting at the table in the corner. Eyes adjusting, adjusting, adjusting. Oh my. Oh my. Is that who you think it is? Why are there only two options? Why are there only two options? What if I wanted to see, just as a thoroughly random example, Bob? Whoa, pace yourself there. You haven't even had your first date yet. Two options are plenty for now, and maybe we'll add more dating sim opportunities in the future. We're not saying this is some kind of test version of a potentially more robust dating adventure, but we're also not saying that. Now, who do you see in the corner? Alright, let's start with the ninja. It's Genji, ninja, cyborg, and all-around bad boy from Loverwatch. No matter how many times you blink, he's still there, and you're completely starstruck. You're amazed he can be seen in public without hordes of fans smothering him. But Winston is all the rage now. Oh god, there's just so many bad jokes. Anyways, still, you'd love to get an autograph. And maybe a handshake. And maybe he'll even say your name. Zap. Hark, do I hear the sound of a heart beating fast and smell the sweat on your palms? Yes. I'm Cupid, the hero of love in all its varieties. It is my sworn duty to answer the cries of all who desire to love and guide them to fulfillment. You look around, wondering if anyone else can see this. Or are you hallucinating? Do not worry, you are the only one who sees me. I do not interfere in the mortal realm. Consider me the angel on your shoulder who will point you in the right direction. Okay, that's a definite maybe on the hallucination thing, but maybe this hallucination can help you. Now, tell me, are you in love? Go with that. Nope, that's just my baseline anxiety. Anxiety and affection can sometimes feel similar, but fear not, I am here to guide you through all of those intricacies. So, do you wish to win the heart of Genji? Yes, I want to win the heart of Genji. Genji? Truly? I mean, there were only two options, as you made sure I was aware. Of course, it's just that, well, to call Genji difficult would be an understatement. Yeesh, you're being really judgmental for a vessel of love, or whatever. Just because I am honor-bound to assist you in your quest for love doesn't mean I lack taste, mortal. Aren't you supposed to be help people no matter what? Why do you care if I'm interested in Genji? I know of Genji. I'm merely saying that reaching Genji's heart will be a difficult task. Sure, whatever you say, Mr. Grumpy Toga. If you wish to pursue Genji, then I am obligated to help you. It is your love life, no matter how foolish. Well then, how do you think I should approach Cupid? You have to introduce yourself, of course. You cannot start down the path of romance without first speaking to him. And given that he strikes me as a selfish, immature person, I would recommend keeping your conversations focused on him. He's always struggled with his sense of self, so do your best to appeal to his interests. You hope you'll get over his hostility for Genji soon. Definitely. But that's not important right now. What is important is whether or not Genji will feel any hostility towards you. With Cupid's words in mind, you build up the courage to approach Genji. Excuse me? The ninja turns to face you. The purple glow of the club's neon lights illuminates his middle mask. Are you talking to me? Yeah, I just saw you and I wanted to say. Your heart starts to pound in your ears, and your mouth can't find the words to speak. Well, say something. And remember, your choices will affect how he feels about you. I saw you when I came in, and I just figured I would come say hello. Okay. I warned you he would be difficult to deal with. Sorry if I'm bothering you or something. I just thought I'd come and introduce myself and try not to be awkward. Yeah. Good try, I guess. Anyway, I don't think I've seen you around before. I'm Genji. What's your name? Oh, I'm Daglo Admeus. Nice to meet you, Genji. Daglo Admeus, huh? That's pretty cool. Reminds me of Daglo Admeus from the game Daglo Admeus' Odyssey. Should have made that game name more ridiculous. Gonna go with... I love that game. I love that game. My parents were actually such big fans after it. I've been playing since I was born. That's amazing. I was just named after the 11th century work The Tale of Genji, which is alright, but certainly no Daglo Admeus Odyssey. I still think it's pretty cool. Thanks. Solid chance I'm gonna lose power here. Hey, did you want to sit down? The next set is starting soon. Maybe we could watch together. You take a seat next to Genji and watch a few sets. You can't tell if he ever cracks a smile, but he certainly doesn't laugh at any point. Weird energy to bring to a comedy club. But before you can spend too many minutes basking in the awkward silence, Cupid returns, bringing you more helpful advice. Well, what are you waiting for? Show him you can be exciting. Go perform a set. I have a few jokes, but they're not ready yet. Cupid scoffs. I move the microphone a little closer to my face. There we go. That way we can get nice and intimate. I don't know what that did. Actually, wait. Actually hook this up to my headphones. That way I can actually hear what I'm saying, and my performance won't be a complete and utter surprise to me. Alright, hello? Hello? Oh, maybe that's what this is. Hello? Alright, there we go. There's a dial on here, I didn't know how that worked. Alright, let's do this, and then let's dial that down a little. And the sound mixing on this will be completely another mess up. Anyways, Cupid scoffs. You have been a regular at this venue and a comedy club known as Overwatch, and you don't have any jokes ready to use? Hey, Overwatch is not a comedy club. That's competitive Overwatch. I knew that joke was coming. It's so funny to me. It doesn't matter. Look, someone just finished their material. Get up there and impress your date. The previous comedian steps down from the stage to do some paltry claps, and when no one stands to take their place, you take the initiative to get on stage. Swallowing your nerves, you address the audience. Hello everyone, I would be honored to share a joke with you fine people. You look out over the audience and you see Genji looking back at you with what you assume is curiosity. While you could make just any joke, you have to wonder, what would make him laugh? I don't know where the camera is at any moment. Also, my eyes are just like, really. Let's tell a joke about ninjas. You tap on the mic. and the feedback rings in your ears. You lean in close. What kind of shoes does a ninja wear? The crowd holds its breath. Sneakers. These are bad jokes. Silence. It feels like you've been teleported to a soundproofed void. Not a soul in the crowd has any reaction to spare. You almost wish they'd boo you, just so you could know they're still there. But among them, you see Genji. Curiously, he glances down at his feet, upon which are a pair of high-tech and fashionable sneakers. A quiet chuckle escapes him. Oh, that's true. Ignoring the appalled stares of the rest of the audience, you make your way back to your seat next to Genji. He seems warmer, leaning in towards you. I liked your joke. For the record, not all ninjas wear sneakers, but I do, so I still laughed. I'm glad to hear you thought it was funny. I was mostly looking to make you laugh. For once, the ever-confident ninja seems a bit shy. He rubs his arm nervously. It has been really nice hanging out with you. Do you think you'd want to go on another date sometime? Absolutely. That sounds wonderful, Genji. Genji sighs. A weight leaves his shoulders. I can't wait. Guess I'll see you again soon. He leaves, and you're left alone in the comedy club. Not for long, though, as Cupid soon reappears. I sense the buds of romance are already beginning to blossom. I'm not doing a Hanzo voice, I can't do that. How do you think things went? He seemed pleased, but there is always room for improvement. I recommend doing your best to ensure he feels comfortable with you. But, good or bad, your date is in the past, and we still have a long road ahead of us if you truly wish for Genji's heart to be yours. When Genji reaches out to you again, he suggests grabbing dinner for your second date. He even picks out a restaurant, Café Azur, in Monaco, the exclusive playground of the ultra-rich. Luckily, you live in the hopeful future. You can just hop on a transatlantic train and arrive in Monaco in a few short hours. Neat, huh? You arrive at the train, and it looks as classy as the name might imply. A robot brings you to your table, where Genji awaits you. Please, tell me he's not wearing the same hoodie he wore to the comedy club. I mean, look at it. If I owned a hoodie that cool, I'd wear it every chance I got to, too. Even to a 5-star restaurant? Especially to a 5-star restaurant. No wonder you need my help. Do I? You take your seat across from Genji, and he seems to light up at your presence. Oh, Dakla Admeus. I didn't expect to see you here. You invited me here? For a date? Oh, yeah, I guess so. Anyway, how was the ride over? It's probably gonna go badly, but let's do this. Those transatlantic trains take you deep under the ocean, you know. Way deep. There are places that humanity was never meant to venture. The depths of the ocean harbor monsters beyond our most tortured imagination, and more still remains to be discovered, if we are truly foolish enough to search for it. Tell me, what becomes of a mind isolated beneath the crushing depths? Perhaps we too would mirror those tormented figures wandering on the ocean floor, were we subjected to the same conditions. Or maybe we are already monsters, and they are the ones who fear us. That was definitely the wrong choice, but hilarious. To me, in the inside, I'm laughing on the inside. Huh, glad it went okay then. I'm happy you could I've been really looking forward to spending more time with you. You don't have much time to feel bashful before the Whitetron returns to your table to take your order. You look over your holo menu, which is like a regular menu, but a hologram since the future. You should think carefully about what you order. Keep trying to imitate like George Takei. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but seriously. Maybe choose something he'd like as well. Come on, even your dinner is going to affect this guy's opinion of you? These dating sims are hard work. In that case, what will you order for dinner? See, I already know what happens if I order off the kids' menu. I'm just kind of afraid this will go badly. But let's find out what Genji's favorite food is. I'll have the Rikimaru ramen. That's my favorite food. How did you know? Easy. It's in the official Overwatch cookbook, which is a real thing. Wow. In that case, I'll take the Rikimaru ramen too. The Waitrons, we don't have that in the menu program, seems to be overridden by its "the customer is always right" subroutine, and so it takes your order back to the kitchen without complaints. That's really cool of you to order my favorite food for dinner. If there were an official Dactyl cookbook, I would have ordered yours too. You make a note of his idea. You're always looking for more merchandising opportunities. Two of you spend some time chatting, and after a few short minutes, the Waitron brings out your meal. 2 bowls of Rikimaru ramen. It's honestly impressive that such a nice restaurant could make a dish look like it comes from a cheap ramen shop. This looks just as good as the real thing from Hanamura. All it's missing is the Murloc bowl. Then it'd be perfect. Oh no, how could they forget the Murloc bowl? That's half the fun of Rikimaru ramen. Huh, let me go check with the waiter. Maybe they have Murloc bowls in the back. You fetch the Waitron, explaining that Rikimaru ramen just isn't the same when it's not in branded bowls. Unfortunately, the restaurant doesn't have any Murloc bowls on hand, but they are able to draw a crude recreation on 2 of the regular bowls. When you return to the table, Genji looks completely deflated. You sit across from him, and he barely even acknowledges your presence. Even Cupid seemed troubled by his sudden shift in mood. Perhaps you should check on him, Dactyl. Hey, is everything okay? You seem bummed out. Genji shrugs. Sorry, another diner recognized me while you were gone. They came over to talk to me. Oh, did they ask you for your autograph or something? No, they actually recognized me from the Loverwatch incident. They had less than kind words to share with me. I know what the Loverwatch. I'm just going to go with this. What was the Loverwatch incident? I'm surprised you haven't heard about it. It was international news a few years ago. When I first became a cyborg, I worked for a group called Loverwatch, Overwatch's Black Ops division. Oh. Yes, I hoped we would make the world a better place, but on occasion, we did terrible things to achieve that goal, until one incident exposed our existence to the public and put the entire organization under immense scrutiny. It seems even now people haven't not forgotten what we did. What I did. I'm so sorry, Genji. I can't believe someone would give you trouble about it here. It's alright. I am not proud of who I was then, but I will admit, it is discouraging. I have tried my best to become a better person, but I fear my past will always haunt me. Some days it feels like there is nothing I can do to move on from who I was. He sighs, propping his head against his hand dejectedly. Blah, blah, blah. It's a heart-rending sight. It seems he could use your reassurance. A small gesture might go a long way. Apparently even Cupid has the sense to put aside his bitterness towards Genji when he's in this state. What do you do to cheer Genji up? I mean, hold his hand is the strongest move, but I've seen what happened. This is, weird, so we're gonna go with this. Hey, I know you've been working hard to be a better person, and I know you've come a long way from who you were before. So don't let anyone else get to you. As long as you know you're getting better, who cares what anyone else thinks? Genji seems touched by your words. Sure, maybe you plagiarized him from the back of a self-help book, but he's not your high school English teacher, so it's enough to get him smiling again. Also, I have spent, years of my life plagiarizing self-help books, even though I don't read them. But it's very easy to just rip them out like a fart. I suppose that's true. Although even if I don't care what they think, I still care what you think, Daclymaius. So, thank you. Of course, Genji. Anytime. Let's eat, huh? Our food is getting cold. The two of you finally enjoy your night as it was supposed to go. You don't know how Genji eats with his mask on, but every time you look away, more food disappears from his plate. You assume it's getting into his mouth one way or another. By the time you're done eating, Genji seems happier than ever. You're glad the evening is going in a more positive direction. Hey, I wanted to ask you about something. Shoot. How would you feel about going somewhere special for our next date? Are you telling me a 5-star restaurant isn't special? Not really. I just searched for most cliche date locations and this was the first result. Probably would have been nice to know that before selling an organ to eat here, but it's hard to hold that against them. No, I wanted to go somewhere meaningful. How would you feel about taking a trip to Nepal? Alright, I'm just gonna do this because these others are complaints and I do want to, like, get the thing. What's so special about Nepal? It was a very important place in my growth as a person. This may surprise you, but an isolated mountaintop helped me find peace. There's more to it, obviously, but if I figured I could explain when we got there. Sure. I can't wait to hear all about your backstory. Okay, I'll see you there. I hope it'll be really special. I had a lot of fun tonight. Thanks again, Daclymaius. Genji departs from the restaurant, and you're left alone. Well, as alone as you can be when you're haunted by the vessel of Valentine's. Another date down, with a third to come? Most impressive, Daclymaius. Thanks. How do you think Genji and I are doing? He seems incredibly happy with you. Not to tempt fate, but I suspect it would be difficult for you to lose his affection now. But there's still another date in your future. Do what you can to prepare, as since this one will be the most important of all. You ascend the snowy mountaintops in Nepal, and the cold rudely seeps right through every layer of clothing that you have. Hardly to believe that just a few days ago you were telling jokes in the comedy club, and now this is what's expected of you to keep this relationship going. As you are trudging along, Cupid appears again. Thankfully, you know his deal by now, or you'd think you were seeing things thanks to the hypothermia. Daclymaius, I need to stress how important this date will be. Clearly, you are important to Genji. He would not have brought you here otherwise. So, just be sure you do your very best this time. You know, when we first met, you seemed like you didn't really like Genji. Well, while I do believe he is foolish and stubborn and immature and vain, you have reminded me that there is a good side to him as well. And while that good side is buried very, very far beneath his flaws, it is there nevertheless. So I must thank you, truly. Ah, Cupid, you're sounding all sappy. Don't tell me this is a teaser for the secret Cupid path of this dating sim, hmm? Don't be ridiculous. If there were a secret Cupid path, do you think I would advertise it so freely? Yes. Besides, a path of that nature would be difficult to unlock. You would need to, say, successfully win the heart of both heroes to show me your commitment to love. Hypothetically, of course. Of course. Hypothetically. But enough about hypotheticals. You have a date to get to. Hurry up now. With Cupid's vote of confidence, you continue your journey up the mountain. Eventually, you arrive in a quaint little village. Genji is there to greet you. Honestly, you don't understand why you can't travel together. Daclymaius, you made it. What do you think of the hike? Oh, it was a breeze. I climb mountains all the time. No big deal. Oh, you climb a lot? I appreciate that. Ninjas are actually big into climbing, apparently. So it's good you can keep up. That's what. Alright. Anyway, I'm glad you're finally here. This place is very special to me, and I hope I can show you why. Come for a walk with me? Gladly, you take Genji's arm. He leads you all around the village, and you can't help but bask in every sight. It's truly beautiful. Certainly not the kind of place you'd want to host 5 King of the Hill style combat. But what's more beautiful than the village itself is the way Genji glows while taking you through it, recounting memories of the time he spent here. He tells you everything, from the story of how he first arrived here to tales of his most trying meditations. After strolling a while, Genji takes you to the old accommodations that housed him through his time in Nepal. Though he's been absent for some time, the room is still clearly his. There's an old mattress, a Hori, and a framed picture of Genji with his brother taken years ago. Genji goes to say something, but someone else speaks first. Genji, you have arrived. I hope you had a safe journey, my student. It's Zenyatta. How sad is it that the only place you can get Zenyatta content these days is the explicitly non-canon dining sim and that one short story? Well, maybe something will happen with that Ramatra guy soon. Who knows? Master, it's good to see you again. Indeed. I heard that you were bringing a visitor, and I hoped that I could meet them. Of course. Dakalomeus, this is my master, Zenyatta. You were ready for a trek through the snow-covered mountains, but this is basically like meeting Genji's parent. Is that weird for a third date? Doesn't matter. It's happening. Now it's up to you to deal with it. It's really wonderful to meet you, Zenyatta. I've heard great things. That's a lie. You haven't heard anything. But he seems to react warmly, even so. Likewise, I'm glad you survived your journey here. You're going to ignore the threatening aura of that sentence and let him keep talking. It is rare for Genji to have company here. I sense he must be quite fond of you. Oh, I certainly hope so. Master, you're embarrassing me. I am sure your companionship will mean a great deal to him. He has always struggled to accept himself. Perhaps the acceptance of another will help him along his path. You never realized how much your company might mean to Genji. To think, just a few nights ago, you were planning to enjoy the comedy stylings of literally anyone in New York City by yourself. Now it's entirely impossible that you're changing the life of an Overwatch agent. I believe... Master? Since I've surpassed my annual screen time allotment, I'm afraid I will need to depart. But please take my greatest blessings and enjoy the remainder of your time here. The two of you say goodbye to Master Zenyatta, and when you're left alone, Genji's previous exuberance is gone, replaced with contemplation. Something on your mind, Genji? Just thinking about what my master said. He was being truthful, you know. Spending time with you has done a lot to help my own sense of self. But I have to wonder. Dakalomeus, do you really think it's possible to know your true self? Well, to be honest, that's a far deeper question than you ever would have expected from the silly dating sim you signed up for. But you've come this far, right? What's the harm in one more question? And that really is one more. I believe this is your last chance to win Genji's heart, Dakalomeus. Use it wisely. Well, what do you think? Can one know their true self? Alright. I'm just gonna answer honestly, even though I know how this goes. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe you can, or maybe not. But I think it's always worth it to try finding out who you really are. Otherwise, what's the point of it all? I think you might be right. You know, when I ended up like this, when my brother... He trails off. Cupid watches him intently, his brow knit with pain. I felt so much guilt. I would look at myself every day and despise the person who looked back at me. But as much as it hurt, I had to look, or else I could not have grown from who I was. Perhaps I will never know my true self, but you're right. I must always try to see who I really am. Thank you, Dakalomeus. I'm glad to know you feel the same. Dakalomeus, I have really enjoyed spending so much time with you lately. It has been a long time since I allowed myself to get close to anyone. But I must admit... Admit what, Genji? feel some guilt that you have not seen the real me. You're a bit confused. You're pretty sure you just enjoyed 3 dates with the real him. But before you can ask, he clarifies. We've been spending so much time together, and you've only seen me with my mask on. Although my mask is extremely epic, it is not the true me. It is really cool, though. I know, right? But still. Genji takes your hands into his. His green visor stares back at you, and you wonder what his eyes might look like beneath it. Dacloadmias, can I show you who I really am? This is weird. Let's do this. Of course. I love you, Genji. Genji puts his hand over his heart, shocked but not at all disappointed in your confession. After returning to reality, he chuckles under his breath. It's funny. It seems I could deflect anything but love. And beams, but mostly love. With great care, Genji reaches for his mask, and though he hesitates, he eventually builds the strength to remove it, showing you his true face beneath. Genji, you're beautiful. If you believe so, then it must be true. It took me so long to come to terms with who I am now. Knowing you accept me makes me confident it was worth all that time. I know my true self loves you too, Dacloadmias. You have embarked on a journey of love and found what you desire at the end. Love takes many forms, but it is always true. May you cherish this love with Genji forever and always. I guess I could download the card. It's kind of a weird thing to do, but we're gonna go here. I'm gonna look at the review. Ah. Okay, so there are a bunch of Valentine cards. I'm not that interested in them, but that's kind of cool. New game. I gotta zip through this thing. Yeah, blah 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 blah. It's Mercy! It's Mercy! Genius doctor, genius scientist, genius inventor. No matter how many times you blink, she's still there, and you're completely... I'm gonna go pain-struck. Pain-struck. Being in the presence of a genius doctor has reminded you of that pain in your stomach you've been experiencing for the last couple months. You should probably get that checked out. It hurts worse with all the butterflies you feel looking at her. Zap. Right, we're just gonna skip through this. Alright. We're going to go with this. Hold up. You're not Cupid. You're Hanzo Shimada. From the free-to-play game Overwatch 2. Which I have, of course, played because I just recognized you as Hanzo Shimada. I get that a lot. But no matter how similar I am to the character in Overwatch, rest assured I am Cupid, champion of love. However, it is entirely possible that Hanzo Shimada will have a skin based on me in the shop. What a coincidence! Indeed. Now tell me, are you feeling the signs of love? I guess we're gonna go with this then. I think so. It's kind of hard to tell. The path to love is often confusing, but fear not, I'm here to guide you through all its intricacies. What? It means I'm going to give you advice. Oh, okay. So, do you wish to win the heart of Mercy? Yes, I want to win the heart of Mercy. He arcs an eyebrow. To win her heart, you must arm yourself with the power of knowledge. How much do you really know about Mercy? Wait, is he actually setting up a trivia quiz here? I am waiting. Sure. Test my unparalleled Mercy knowledge. Confidence. I hope it's well placed. What is Mercy's real name? Oh, there was the creepy but hilarious answer. Anyways, Angela Ziegler. Incorrect. It's Dr. Angela Ziegler. Okay, Cupid Hanzo Shimada. Stop that. What is our favorite food? Now I don't care. The tears of careless DPS heroes. That's quite dark. I like that. She will not do better. What is Dr. Ziegler's field of research? Biology? Incorrect yet again. She is a pioneer in applied nanobiology. More specific, biotic technology. Same difference. In the matters of the heart, the details matter. This is ridiculous. I should just go over and talk to her. You are barely holding a decent conversation with me. Guiding you will prove more difficult than I thought. But do not worry, my magical powers will elevate you above your incompetence. Wait, I thought there was no magic in the Overwatch setting. No more questions! Now, Mercy is a highly accomplished woman. What would impress her the most? I thought you said no more questions. After this one, tell me the most impressive thing about you. I'm gonna say, can't I just say hi? You can, with this mic. He hands you the mic. The mic they use for open mic night at the Laugh Attic. Click. The spotlight illuminates you. And Mercy turns her head. She's looking at you. Gulp. Hi! Everyone turns towards you. Mercy sits comfortably back in her chair, expectant. She's waiting. I said hi already. The crowd clears their throats. Chairs squeak. She's waiting for a joke, because this is a comedy club where you make jokes. Okay, here goes nothing. Why doesn't the surgeon like operating on elbows? You pause for dramatic effect. She swore to do no arms. The audience silence goes beyond mere description. It is a living being, vast, timeless, hateful. It bears down on you with deadly intent. Then Mercy laughs. A full-on, chain-snorting laugh. The exhilaration hits you like a damage-amplifying beam. A well-timed resurrect. She should probably get her sinuses checked, though. You sit down at a nearby table, glowing. Out of the corner of your eye, Mercy stands and heads over to you. Ba-dum. Ba-bum. Ba-bum. Ba-dum. Ba-dum. Hello. That one seems weird. Hey, Dr. Ziegler. I just wanted to say that was a very good joke. I'm glad it tickled your funny bone. That phrase is so strange. The funny bone isn't really a bone. It's a nerve called the ulnar nerve, and it's responsible for the sensations in your fourth and fifth fingers, your palm, and... But of course, I understand your joke, which was also very good. Thanks, and that ulnar nerve trivia was also really good. It wasn't humorous, though. You're smart and funny? OP. Mobility and overpowered are not the same thing. Oh god, these are jokes that only Overwatch players will get. Oh god, no one else watch this. You won't understand. Writer's note. Mercy was not meta at the time of writing this. Please be merciful as she is by the time this sim releases. Yes, she is. She's very, very, very meta. That was supposed to be a compliment. I know, I'm just tired of being admired. Tired of loved, uninspired. What, was that a reference? Yes, I'm surprised this made it past revisions. I'm surprised this dating sim even exists. Indeed, that too. Speaking of dating sims, we should probably proceed to the next date. I was thinking fun, like dinner at a fancy restaurant. I'm just gonna... I'd love to join you. Mercy smiles. You could die happy right now and she would just resurrect you back. Fantastic. I will meet you at Cafe Azure at Circuit Royale. And she walks. No, floats away. You can't believe it. You're gonna have dinner with Mercy tomorrow at... Wait a minute. Circuit Royale? That's not in Midtown. If you want to make it in time for dinner tomorrow, you better queue up now. How do you think things went? You did quite well. You anticipated her feelings and interests. You are off to a fine start. So you can stop nagging me now? The first date is finished, but the journey ahead of us is long and fraught with peril. We will endure these trials together. Luckily, the hopeful future of Overwatch has a very reasonably priced transatlantic train. You arrive in Monaco in a few short hours. Supercars zip by in the distance. The aroma of high-end dining wafts from nearby tables. The menu is in front of you and you're cursing yourself for skipping French class all those years ago. I didn't skip. I hate French. No, I don't. I don't care about French. It's exactly 3 minutes and 2 seconds past the time of your dinner date, and Mercy is still nowhere to be found. Maybe she changed her mind. Maybe there's an international crisis somewhere and she had to go. Maybe she's just running fashionably late. 3 minutes and 57 seconds. 4 minutes and 19 seconds. She must hate you. Are you going to eat the breadsticks or just let them sit there? I'm so sorry. She's flustered, having rushed over here. I was working on a new dissertation and I wasn't keeping track of the time. I got here as fast as I could. Do forgive me. The second one is creepy. Happens to the best of us. Well handled. Really? Shouldn't I be honest and tell her I almost had a meltdown? Consider saving that for the dessert course. Mercy smiles and sits down. Have you ordered yet? This place does a fabulous beignet de fleurs de courgette. I don't know what those are. Fried zucchini flowers. You take a deep breath, nod, and look back at the menu. Fidget with the menu. You fidget with the menu, folding and unfolding it. Over and over. It tears. Uh-oh. Hopefully they won't charge you for that. Instead of failing miserably at origami, you should choose what to order. I don't know what this is. You ordered the perturbed muesli, because having breakfast for dinner is one of the finer pleasures in life. And this was Mercy's recipe. I didn't know that. I'm not picking these on purpose. I straight up don't know. This was Mercy's recipe in the Overwatch cookbook. Do you like butcher muesli as well? Because I also love it. It's the best breakfast. Because it is the middle option. Yes, it is. Although we are having dinner. I don't let society's expectations dictate my preferences. Me either. Wow, that looks a lot better than what I imagined. The bowl of muesli arrives. Clusters of bright, happy berries and a trail of green and brown nuts and seeds on a bed of white mush. Silence falls as you two eat. That awkward bit during dinner dates where you can't decide if you should converse or eat, or talk while eating, and risk spraying your date with freshly chewed food. Cupid groans. Are you truly such an amateur? Start a conversation. What do I talk about? Something about her. This. Your dissertation sounds interesting. Tell me more. Do you understand the nuances of medical imaging and machine learning? Half of those I understand. Of course, I read scientific journals for fun in my spare time. You do? You do? Yeah! Wonderful. I've been working on optimizing the resolution for imaging deep in tissues to a sub-subcellular level in real time. Reaching this level requires better contrast, improved electron microscopy, better samples, and better convex observation algorithms for evaluating complex loss functions to digest a massive amount of visual information. We're not close to completing a universal molecular atlas because of the massive amount of computing power we need to calculate angular orientation of cellular protein complexes. I am now using a lot of big words that are frankly extremely scary, and wow, you are realizing that I'm one of those once-in-a-lifetime geniuses, and I bet you hoping that Cupid says something to bail you out. I would change the subject to something you can easily understand. I understood like 60% of that. What kind of hobbies do you enjoy? I like volunteering at clinics around the world and collecting crystals. Non-canonically, of course. Like non-canonical healing crystals. My favorite is the rose quartz. It represents love, healing, and compassion. It represents love, healing, and compassion, right? Oh, right. He was... Yeah. Right! You high-five Cupid. Mercy looks at you concerned. You forgot that only you can see him. My godly knowledge and love does not cover how to recover from such tomfoolery. So helpful. Just stretching the old lad in his Dorsey. I don't know what that is. See, I understood the whole machine learning thing a lot more than whatever that was. I assume... Ooh, that popped. Both of these suck. So what have you been doing since Overwatch fell apart? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing of note. Do you miss it? The missions? The adventure? I'd rather not talk about it, if you don't mind. Well done. I would change the subject to something more positive. Well, apparently this is more positive, so okay. What does being a hero feel like? You know, no one believes me when I say it's not that great as people think. The world saw me as Mercy, a guardian angel, noble, perfect. I'm also just Angela Ziegler, and I am not perfect. And when the world saw me, they were disappointed. I don't mind being Mercy. If the world needs her, I will be there, but I wish they would also welcome Angela. Wow. Okay, there's the obvious answer. This one's weird. So we're gonna go with this. I need you, Angela. She chokes on her sip of water. The other patrons look over, oozing disdain at her gauche behavior. I don't know how to say that word. You distinctly slide a napkin towards her. You okay? Yes, I'm sorry. Nothing to be sorry about. But she looks down, face still pink. Thank you for saying that. It's nice to hear. I was wondering, I'm volunteering at a clinic in Cairo tomorrow. Would you like to see Angela trying to save the world? Cairo, Egypt? I literally can't miss it unless I stop here. She beams at you and soars away, leaving a lingering scent of perfection. Well, perfect to you. Well, one way or another, that date is complete. Thanks so much. How did our night go? She seems happy with you. Only through carelessness will you lose her heart now. But there is still another date in your future. Do what you can to prepare. I sense this one will be the most important of all. Alright. There's no time to waste. As soon as the airship touched down in Cairo, it was straight to the clinic. It's a modest clinic, bright and clean. Angela hands you a pair of scrubs and she puts on a lab coat. As she tends to patients, you help as much as you can. Hallways, mopped. Paperwork, filed and sorted. Supplies, stocked. You sit down in the break room, exhausted. Angela enters. You straighten up immediately. You must be tired. I'll make you some coffee. He hands you a cup of something that looks like coffee. It smells like coffee, but it's not quality coffee. Her genius does not extend to the barristorial arts, if such a thing exists. Yours smells like someone tortured coffee beans to death. Let me make another pot. You hand her a cup of real coffee. She takes a sip and lets out a bitter sigh. This is pretty good. Just good. She rolls her eyes. Fine, it's better than mine. Somehow while getting all my degrees, I forgot to take a coffee making class. But thank you. This was just to pick me up I needed. She pours herself another cup. We have another busy shift ahead of us, but everyone's telling me you're a great help. Keep it up. She leaves. Her compliment energizes you more than any cup of coffee. I didn't have a choice there. You head back into the clinic lobby, picking out coffee grinds from your teeth. You're quite the brave one. You recognize that quiet, wry voice. You turn around and it's... No one has experienced Angela's coffee and come out smiling the other end. Ana, the Ana Amari, legendary sniper, original Overwatch strike member, the bane of most of your matches. What is she doing here? Ana, what are you doing here? Are you hurt? Oh, I'm always aching somewhere. You know that. And who is this? This is Dackle Admanis, my She blushes pink, Mercy, pink. Date. I'm Angela's date. Anna's eyes pin Mercy in place. Dr. Angela Ziegler, are you blushing? Absolutely not. It is extremely hot here. Her gaze pierces you. You know those eyes have seen the world's most dangerous criminals and their final moments. I've always told Faria had to look for someone who's not afraid to speak up. I'm glad you found someone like that, Angela. It was nice meeting you, Daclydmius. She leaves, and Angela clears her throat and avoids eye contact with you. I'll see you when the shift ends. You're alone, wondering what just happened. Well done! You've impressed Anna Amari. Where the heck were you? Some mortals frighten even the gods themselves. The important thing is that you impressed a close friend. Anna's opinion of you will heavily influence your fate with Dr. Ziegler. And speaking of fate, are you ready to see how your journey ends? Yeah, I'm pretty confident. We will see. Do you have a moment? I want to talk to you about something with you. Angela leads you to the top floor of the clinic, where there's a rooftop terrace with stunning views of Cairo. Wow! Spectacular, isn't it? I come up here often after a long shift. You both take in the view of the city, the Nile sparkling orange for the setting sun, and the high-rise apartments and freeways gathered around its shores. So, what do you want to talk about? I wanted to thank you for these last few days together. You saw me for who I really am. Instead of judgment or expectations, you gave me humor, compassion, and kindness. That someone like you exists in this world, it makes me want to believe in it a little stronger. Fight for it a little harder. I want to show you something. Take my hand. Come see this world from above, as I do, in all its beauty. Alright. I would go anywhere with you. I didn't expect that. Anyways, the Valkyrie's wings spread open. Angela takes your hand and you both soar into the clouds. This is a skin for people who don't know. I've known many heroes, but you are mine. You have embarked on a journey of love and found what you desire at the end. Love takes many forms, but it is always true. May you cherish this love with mercy forever and always. Kind of biblical, that. Alright. Hold on. Wait a moment, Daclydmius. Where am I? You are in the realm of love. This looks a lot like that one 2CP map. That what map? You know, that old game mode from the before times. Can you pause your brilliant wit for just a second, please? Wait, one more comment. Get it out of your system. This dating sim was way too easy. I've seen your dating history. I thought the training wheels would be necessary. Touché. Anyways, before you complain about this dating sim on the internet, I must confess. Your devotion to winning the trust and respect of these heroes is admirable. Not only have you brought love to their hearts, but to mine as well. Have this as a token of my respect. Cupid hands you an arrow from his quiver. You take his gift. I don't know what to say except... you were my soulmate all along. I thought it was impossible for Cupid to find true love, but you make the impossible possible. Ah, hey, shouldn't you be shooting me with this arrow? There's no need. You've already pierced my heart without it. Alright, that was fun. I think that fulfills my non-Overwatch gaming quota this week. Well, yeah. What else? Akupara. That I've seen before. It makes sense that this isn't even in the game. Nice. Alright, that's it for today.